Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 million by 1 million strategy roundtable for entrepreneurs. 1M by 1M, as you know, is the first and only global virtual accelerator for technology startups. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. In support of that mission, we do these free mentoring roundtables week after week, year after year. This is the 702nd 1M by 1M roundtable. And over 300,000 people have participated in these sessions since 2008. It's been going on for a long time. Most Thursdays we are here doing this. And based on all this work, we have recordings of every single roundtable mentoring session, and we have 20 years worth of content that we've published on our blog and various places, books, and so on. This has enabled us to just introduce an AI mentor that is basically my digital mind. It's all my published work, videos, etc., that have been used to train this AI mentor. And I'm seeing the kinds of conversations entrepreneurs are having with the AI mentor, and they're amazingly effective and efficient. So you're very welcome to try. Maureen will put the link in the public chat. And by all means, try it, use it. It's one-on-one, it's in your pocket, it's 24/7, and it's available in 57 languages. It's amazing. So by all means, try it. We're going to jump right into a full roster of entrepreneur pitches today. It's a packed session. Remember, this is a safe working session. You don't need to be nervous. You don't need to be defensive. I'm on your side. We're all on your side. This is something that we're going to just very collaboratively work on your business and see what paths we can unlock to accelerate your journey. If you disagree with my feedback, that is your prerogative. You can do whatever you want. You can disagree, you can do whatever you want, that's up to you. We're going to start with EV ecosystem. Yves Nzuzi-Khuabi is the presenter. Yves, please get started.
Thank you very, very much for having me, and good morning to everyone. I guess it's morning for most of you, or good afternoon for all. And thank you again for having me today. So my name is Yves Nzuzi. I am based in Newcastle in Australia, in New South Wales, and I would like to talk to you about EV ecosystem. Quickly, thank you. So EV ecosystem, it's an AI-powered multi-vendor online marketplace that basically removes the friction from buying, selling, and installing electrical vehicle products and services. I would like to say we do not sell electrical vehicle. We sell the aftermarket, all the products and services that is required. Because technically what you usually have when someone buys an electrical vehicle or would like to buy an electric vehicle, it's not a new technology, but there are also a lot of questions. I want to install, for example, charging station at my house, but I don't know what type of power do I need? What do I need here? And usually what people do, they go on the internet and trying to get all those information, or they speak to their friends, or they join some forums where they will get some advice. So with EV ecosystem for EV drivers, it's basically allow them, it's almost like a one-stop shop where they can get all information that they need with regard to the products and services. And this is actually supported by AI agents that we're building that help the customer throughout the journey, whereby they can ask questions to the agent, and the agents will give them the answer in the non-technical terms, and it also give them recommendation on the products that they do need, and will also give them the option in terms of the products and also the services close to them to do the work. Okay. And what we're also building with that, we also would like the agent to be able to, I'm not done on the previous slide. What we also building would like to help them to be able to give them support for installation, warranty, and aftercare. And this is done 24/7 because AI never sleep. But for installer as well, what is important for installer, we give them access to the customer who basically want the product. And by using also our platform, they have the ability to be able to buy the part that they need in bulk and build a bundle of services and products for the customer. And for the OEM, the manufacturer, it to get access to the customer. When we talk about the customer, is not only the EV buyer but also the installer, because they are an important segment, and as well as get customer insights. Next slide. So as you can see from the previous slide, there are three rails that we operate in. The first one is the installer rail. Basically, they are the people that go install, but they are also the people that buy so that they can install. So we're trying to make it easier for them to buy in bulk and at a very good prices so that they can provide the services to the end customer. So this is the first rail, or the first type of customer that we target. The second customer that we target, so on the first segment, it's almost like a B2B. On the second segment, the customer rel, that is basically your typical EV driver, someone who basically want to get a new charging station or a new battery or a new tire. So they go basically to the website. And if they only want to buy the products, they only buy the product. If they want the services, there is a services as well that we can provide in there. And then the last one is your supplier, your manufacturer. They are the one who basically sell the product. So as you can see with EV ecosystem, it's a central platform that bring together those manufacturer, those installer, as well as those customer, and it is supported as well by the AI agents and that we're trying to develop to make that journey not only for the customer, the journey for the installer, and the journey for the OEM easier, so to remove the friction in this entire value chain. Next slide. So the business model that we are going to base or that we're basing our product with, it's first we get a transaction fee for any product sold on our platform, a 7% transaction fee, which can even be reduced because we are going to pursue in the beginning at least a reduced price strategy. The second one for premium, so we're gonna offer a premium services to some vendors, so mainly installer and other vendors, and that will be a subscription fee. And then because it's a marketplace, that's our product, we also will offer advertising opportunity on our platform. And basically, these are the three revenue sources that we propose for our business. Next slide. So the go-to market strategy where we are. So right now we are in phase 0 where we are putting the program, the whole system together. So in that phase 0, as I talk about the three wells, the first one was the products where someone can list and sell the products. That is, I would say 70% done. We are just busy finalizing the payments channel because we already have a discussion with Stripe. The price is a little bit high. So we are assessing a local payment fintech company, as we should be able to make a decision around that by next week. And the reason why it's taking so long is that because I'm also in discussion with a possible technical co-founder. We already have a couple of discussions and we are reviewing the architecture as a stake plus one. And then we proceed with the second phase of building the system together, which will be to build the services or installer realm. And then the third one will be to also at the same time, but it's the third phase, to build the AI agents, which is why I need a technical co-founder to basically join me as soon as possible. He's a lecturer actually at the university, and he has worked with AI and chatbots. So when we get that, then we can start with our phase 1, which is basically to launch in Australia with home charging as well as installation services. I have already starting actually reaching out to some of those suppliers to start listing so that I can already have people lined up. And then when it's done, we will basically extend in the rest of Australia and then New Zealand. And then we'll also keep on adding our list of products that we list. That is the phase 3, where we will scale as well to include DC charging station, target fleet owner, and also target EPC contractor. And then we will expand on phase 4 to the APAC region, and then we'll go global with Europe and USA. We are giving ourselves this go-to-market plan about 18 months to be able to achieve this. If it can be done sooner, so be it, but we do not want to rush quickly. We want to get the basic right first with all system and everything up and running before we can go, I would say, bigger. Next slide. So this is just a view of the current marketplace where we have bytes already. So I've also explained to you basically what we are doing, the development that is currently taking place. I think we can move to the next one. I don't want to do any demo in this session. So the challenges that and what I would like to basically get out of the discussion today, I think I'll start with the third bullet. It's first, I've talked to you about the products and what you're doing. I also want your feedback if you see it feasible, if there is definitely a market for that, because I'm very much passionate and how can I say supportive of the idea, but it's always good to also hear from third party people who basically don't know what I'm doing, but can give me honest feedback if there is definitely, if it's definitely a good business idea. The one in it's basically around funding. So looking for funding to be able to carry on with the development that I'm doing. If I can get some advice on how to attract funding, because I've reached out to a few VCs and people, but right now I'm still not getting a good traction. Maybe there is something that I can do better. And then the last one is, like I say, I am in discussion almost a deal to get one tech co-founder. But with regard to that, if I need to give away some share, what is a number of share that is acceptable that I can basically that can guide me? So basically, how can you guide me with regard to getting a tech co-founder involved into business and how to manage sort of that relationship, specifically on the transaction level?
So this project is not fundable right now. That's why you're not getting any traction with investors. Investors don't fund ideas, and your business is not really validated, and it's really a kind of it's an idea stage business, really. Not much has happened yet. So your best bets to get towards funding would be to start validating the idea, and then there are lots of things missing here from an investor point of view. What is the bottom-up TAM? If you are unfamiliar with this concept, you can learn it. You can learn it through 1M Basic or Premium or even the AI Mentor, but you need to understand what 1M, what a bottom-up TAM is, and calculate a bottom-up TAM for this. And your go-to-market actually needs work, because you're talking about Australia. I suspect this is a very local business, and Australia is a big country. So if you want this to actually come together, you have to start with cities and complete the both buy side and sell side of the two-sided marketplace within a city, whether you in Melbourne you start in, or Perth or wherever, Sydney, but you have to complete the whole picture for that city so that transactions can start happening and your concept can be validated. So think local, really hyper local, not Australia yet. Your big picture vision can be Australia, it can be beyond Australia, but from a validation point of view, you have to think hyper local. Tech co-founder, it really depends. Co-founder, if it's a real co-founder, then you have to, if it's a real co-founder, you have to give them a very large chunk of your company. But if it's not a real co-founder, if it's somebody you're trying to hire, you kind of call this person a co-founder, you're hiring a co-founder really, but you are really the founder, and somebody is coming in more as a, without that level of commitment. That's going to be, less equity, but this is subjective, and it's hard for me to tell without looking at the resume, without looking at the situation. But a real co-founder could be a 50-50 split. And then
sorry, what do you mean by a real co-founder? Can you give me
a real co-founder is somebody you co-found a company with, which is not the case here. You're not really co-founding a company with this person. This person may join if blah, blah, blah conditions are in. That's not a real co-founder, right? This co-founder is not working on this project right now.
No. Not
a co-founder. This is the pseudo co-founder, as I call it. So a pseudo co-founder doesn't get 50% equity. But to have somebody at a co-founder level, you're going to have to give substantial equity.
Okay.
How much, it depends on who that person is, what kind of situation, what is he committing to, etc., etc. I can help you more, but that's going to require more information. I don't know if the idea is feasible from an investor's point of view. You have to validate the idea. You have to, without looking at the TAM, it's impossible to gauge whether this is fundable or not. And remember one thing, investors are trying to go from $0 to $100 million in 5 to 7 years. That is the venture capital trajectory. You have to, with your pitch, with your investor pitch, you have to make a case that your business can grow that fast and achieve those kinds of numbers and that kind of velocity. So that your investor pitch is nowhere near there at the moment. So we have to get you there. So hang on, let me work with the others, and I will spend some time explaining to you how to use the 1M1M program, and you can ask me more questions as well.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Sorry about that. Ishu Darshan from Gurugram, India. Ishu,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Thank you so much. All right, so I am Ishu and I'm from India. I am building Surge, which is a team communication platform where people and AI agent work side by side.
Okay.
So we are focusing on 3 problem statement. The very first problem statement is of high impact. In today's time, companies are going hybrid and we don't have any kind of an infrastructure where company can operate in that setup. So the problem here is that every company is spending 30 minutes on average on an individual level in meetings. And that is like a sort of a roadblock, which I personally think in terms of problem statement. Second is that everybody is trying to build AI agent, but these AI agents are reactive. So if I am going to ask it to execute on something, it's going to execute, but it doesn't proactively work. It doesn't surface me what I am supposed to do. And that has to do with the problem of memory, which a lot of AI companies are trying to solve. But there is no solution which is cohesive where all the memory in terms of communication, what is supposed to be done, that is not being solved. And the third problem statement is very frequent, which all of us experience. We do communication with our teams, and then we go on some other platform where we list down our task. Now, that is where we see a lot of problem, which has been our personal problem while running companies before as well. That I would say something, then I would go on some other platform, and then I would need to execute. So these are the 3 problems which Surge is going to solve.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the next slide. So the solution is the digital office. We call it an AI office. Now, what you see in front of you has a live workspace. By that, what I mean that every rectangle, what you see is like a room for an individual person. And if I want to do a conversation, I can simply go drop in into others' room and I can have the conversation. Instead of me sending a message that okay, I want to have a conversation, then I'll send a Google Meet, or maybe I will not be aware if that person is busy. Even if they are busy, they might be busy with somebody whom I will be comfortable joining in the conversation. So it brings spontaneity in the conversation. Since it's a communication platform, so it also comes with a chat functionality, and it also has an AI co-worker which has an end-to-end context in terms of the memory of what exactly I'm doing. So at any point of time, I can invite AI agent to my own room. I can delegate it. I can delegate the AI agent certain tasks, and I can also sort of ask any kind of an information that what I am missing on, what are my priorities. And the last thing, yeah.
Sorry. This world that you're envisioning, this workspace product that you're envisioning, does it factor in all the other technologies that we are, any of us are using today in the world, like whether it's Zoom, whether it's Slack, whether it's, everything else that people are using, Microsoft Teams and Google Teams and all that? What? Go ahead.
So yeah, Surge is an alternative to Slack, Microsoft Teams, and it also replaces Google Meet and Zoom. The reason for that is that the context of whatever we are doing in terms of work has to be in one place. So on a
So
fundamental,
does that mean that you have the full video conferencing capability as well in
yes,
this product?
yes, we have
Is that
chat, we
built
have.
on something else, or is it something that you have built yourselves?
No, it's our like own technology. The audio tech and video tech has been done by us, and that is why the unit economics makes sense for us.
Okay. So
All
that
right.
means you're expecting a lot of behavior change.
Yes, we are expecting a behavior change, but what we have seen with the usage is that it just take a couple of days for an entire team to get through it. We have done a lot of work in user experience by just making it super simple.
How many people are using this?
550 users, and in terms of companies, there are more than 60 companies which are using it.
Okay. And these are small companies mostly?
These are small companies. We launched our private beta on May 25th. So right now we are working with these 60 companies. They are like design tech partners. There were a lot of like in order to get the product mature, these companies have been working. But like we reached out to them through the sales channel only. It's not like that any kind of a favor which we are taking from them. But
And
they have
they're
moved.
not paying customers.
They're not paying customers because the time we launched, the platform is like omni channel, and we had to sort of make it perfect at every junction. So initially, like we gave them the pricing, they got onboarded, but we told them that okay, for this year it is going to be completely free to use. So these companies show up daily, and they have ditched their existing infrastructure from Microsoft Teams or Slack. They're working on this platform.
And what are they telling you in terms of why they're using it, and what use case are they really getting value out of?
So the interface which you saw, that is the real magic what the other companies are able to experience, because collaboration has to do a lot with presence, and the platform helps everybody to be present. It's like everybody when they log in at 10 o'clock, all of them are present, and then we can see how the team is moving. So talking to anybody is just like going to another room and striking a conversation. And the current spectrum is that all the talent, the people, they want to be hybrid, they want flexible work structure. So in that scenario where like the teams are fragmented, they're seeing a lot of value, because it's like what we have done over here is that we have put the office into the device.
And these are all Indian companies that are using.
These are Indian companies. I had onboarded US-based company as well, but since the platform had the bugs, so they chose not to continue to it. So I thought, like, firstly, I'll be testing with the companies with whom I can reach out at a lower cost. So reaching out companies which are in US is costly, so that's why we are testing it out with Indian companies here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Keep going.
All right. So shall I continue from this slide or?
Yes, or wherever you want to continue from. I stopped you.
Sure. Yeah. Just the next slide would do. Next to next. Yeah, there we go. All right. So this is a very important slide because it talks about the third problem statement, communication and execution. So
So
whatever we
just one thing. These slides are not very readable. You have this black background, matted gray text. I
Yeah.
can't read any of it. As far as I'm concerned, they're terrible slides. So
Yeah,
keep
I'll
going.
definitely take care of it. Thank you so much.
So I'm just listening to you. I'm not able to use the slides.
All right, all right. I'll definitely take care of that. All right. So about this slide, this is a very important slide because I told like we talk, but we don't get the list of what we are supposed to do, and this happens a lot. So after every conversation, the AI agent gives the list of the task. For example, schedule a follow-up call, share the search pitch deck with Rohan. Now over here, AI agent will help you execute the task across different applications. For example, you can just execute this and it will schedule the calendar, invite. For sharing the deck, it will go on Drive, fetch fetch the pitch deck and it will sort of draft a mail and it can shoot it. So it is sort of not only presenting what is supposed to be done, but the AI agent, we have designed it in such a way that it also executes. Now we can go to the next slide. All right, so why we are the right people to solve this? First of all, we have been running an AI dev shop from last couple of years. We have done like $500K in revenue. Additionally, we have worked with a lot of the companies in building their tech from scratch, and all of these companies have gone to raise funding. So we are very frugal in terms of spending or developing technology which can be production grade. And with this product also, like we just developed it at our own investment of $60K so far. So I think
So
like
you have a services company.
Yeah, I have a service company that goes with the name of GrowHut.
And how big is GrowHut?
GrowHut is right now we are 30 people, 35 people.
Where is this?
This is in Gurugram only.
Gurugram, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
but
yeah. So you're doing a bootstrapping using services track, basically.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. So yeah,
so
this
you've
is
been using it internally.
Yeah, this is our team, and I have also listed the logos of some of the clients for whom we have worked through GrowHut. But why this is important for me to explain, because through this, like we have been able to create a team which can execute, they can do GTM, and they can definitely build a world-class product. And this is what the traction looks like in last 2-3 months. So one of the company dev console right now, I think they have done some 5,000 DMs. They would have done some 1,500 calls so far. And there are like 60 companies who are using it, but I'll say like 25 companies are power users who show up daily. They have ditched their old product and they are completely on search. So
and what kind of pricing are you thinking about?
So pricing is between $12 to $16. Now there is a range because we have a geography, and for each AI agent we are charging somewhere between $42 to $50. This is again like per
Do you
agent.
have a slide on this?
Sorry?
Do you have a slide on pricing?
Yeah, next page.
So you're leading with TAM without showing pricing. That it tells me that you're doing a top-down TAM analysis, which is irrelevant. I want to see a bottom-up TAM analysis.
Sure.
So bottom-up TAM analysis takes pricing into account and calculates TAM from that.
Sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So $12 to $16 per user per month, and then
Yes.
$40 to $50 per agent per month. Explain to me how the agent works in this scenario.
So we have built the agent with different persona. Some of the common ones are executive assistant, which people usually love on our product. So it is something like, you give it a task and it goes and it executes. It also has the information of all the conversation which we have done. So if somebody wants to subscribe to that agent, so the cost for that is $42 per agent per month.
Per agent per month per person?
No, per agent per month right now. So if somebody is taking a subscription of one agent, that is readily available for all of their employees.
All of their employees. Okay, that was my question. Got it. All right.
You can skip this part. Yeah. Okay. So distribution, I think we deeply care about distribution right now, because right now distribution is definitely a new mode. So I'll go one by one. First of all, targeted outbound. We know this very well. We have been doing with this our consulting business. So right now, all the demos and the conversions which we are doing it through targeted outbound. Product-led growth, we definitely we really value this, and we have embedded in the product DNA that it should be like a quality product so that it will be referred to other folks. We are able to see some glimpse of it because some of our users, they go on LinkedIn and they have been writing about us. Content and community, I think right now this is the most sharpest thing what we can do, because short form content is something which gives an unfair advantage, and we have not done it, but I'm pretty sure we are very comfortable in doing this, where we will be creating short form founder led content, and podcast-based content to sort of build more trust and also carve out some more short-form content. So collectively, our aim would be to get 10 million views every month on short-form content platforms. So this is something which we really want to do, because I know, like, if we are able to do this right, it will give us an unfair advantage. And then, yeah, strategic partnership, channel partnership. We haven't tried this, but we know like this might also work with us, where we can partner with other SaaS platform.
So what are your questions?
So my question, so I'll tell you, like, I have been having conversation with certain VCs, and we are getting stuck at one point where by choice, like, we sort of started our distribution in India because the product is at nascent stage. And since I think we are not distributing the product in India, and the product is mostly positioned for US and other matured market, so there is like one red flag which we always keep on getting. And second is that, like, people keep on doubting that if we can replace platforms like Slack and Microsoft Teams, which everybody is using it. So my question is, like, what should we do right now? Like, shall I just focus on just executing, getting revenues, and not focus?
Right now you should go to targeted outbound, and it's okay if you do it in India, but get people to pay. Why do you have such a long free usage? That I would cut that immediately. The ones that you have committed to, of course, they're there, but whatever you bring in now, it should be, 30-day usage or whatever time you think it takes for people to start, getting value out of it and starting to really make a commitment to it. And then you need to turn them into paying customers.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I have one more
Because
question.
I think these objections that you're talking about are real objections.
Yeah.
You're saying you're going to go up against Zoom, you're going to go up against Slack, you're going to go up against Microsoft Teams and Google Meet. VCs don't like this kind of, going up against, head-on against very entrenched players. So just get revenues. And if you get really fast revenues and if you can show velocity, right now you don't even know what kind of revenue velocity you'll be able to show. So if you can show by evidence that you have cracked the code on high velocity revenue, then you will get attention from VCs. Otherwise, this is going to have to be bootstrapped until you get to velocity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one more question.
Go ahead, please go ahead.
Yeah. So right now we are based out of India, and this keeps on coming to me since my customers are mostly in US. So there are two questions which are nested. Number one, like, shall I have like a company which is registered in US? That is number one. Second, like, shall we be shifting to US to sort of, like, penetrate faster, or like all of this is not required and we can still operate?
No, this kind of business, you have to crack the go-to-market from India, US go-to-market from India. This kind of product is not going to be sold face-to-face. You may need a US entity because you want payment and everything to be smooth so that it comes into it can tap into the US payment structure, So that's different. But from a go-to-market point of view, if you want to crack US, you have to learn to crack US from India. Moving here doesn't serve any purpose. And it's just going to create cost structures that are unsustainable. And at this point, you don't want to burden yourself with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Utkarsh, you are up next from Lucknow, India. You're on mute. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Something is wrong with your computer. Unmute. We still can't hear you. Say something? No, can't hear you. Okay, you fix your technical problems. I'm going to go to Sean. Pradum is not here.
Yeah, 2 seconds there. Let me just check something. Yeah, I can go ahead. So,
all right, go ahead.
Is there someone trying to come back on, or?
No, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So, my name is Sean Morris. So I'm based in Ireland. Our company, Marketta, is solving voice of customer for physical retailers. Next slide, please. Yeah, so the problem at the moment, so supermarkets, whether in Ireland it's like SuperValu or Tesco, or in the US it's Kroger or Walmart, all their voice of customer or feedback surveys are generic. They're not informed by what the customer actually bought. So that affects response rate and also affects the quality of the actionable insights that they get. So insights are unreliable, and it's also missing real-time store actions that can be taken at the store level to improve NPS and customer satisfaction. Also, these surveys tend to be controlled from the head office with no ability for local stores to customize at the store level. Next slide, please. So our solution is putting QR codes on receipts via the POS system. So once a customer scans that QR code and goes to the survey, it's already informed by that transaction. So the survey is customized based on what they actually bought and basically their experience.
John,
So
what is, hold on, what is the incentive of the customer to want to do this? Is there some
that's a missing slide. So at the moment, with the current surveys, the incentive would be a monthly draw for vouchers. We're taking a different approach. So ours would be monthly draws for experiences. So we're partnering with different experience providers and marketing agencies to provide those draws every month. So rather than like a draw for like a $200 voucher, it might be a draw like for a weekend away or concert tickets, depending on demographics. So basically, customers can choose.
So there is an incentive that is going to this.
Yes,
scanning
exactly.
The QR code leads you to an incentive.
Exactly. I think one of the big selling points, especially for C stores, is that we take care of that incentive. At the moment, like each separate supermarket would have their own incentive, and normally it's just like points or a voucher, which I think customers kind of get a bit jaded with. So I think the experience angle is something new.
And then that experience, that incentive has to be marketed.
So basically, so like this is very visible. So like it's a QR code on the receipt, and there would be a call to action around that as well, like scan to win or something like that. So I think that's one advantage over current surveys as well. The surveys at the moment, they're kind of like emailed out to customers a few days later, or if they're on the receipt, it's just like a small URL.
I don't even look at the receipt very often.
Yeah, so like even for me, so like maybe you wouldn't sometimes you wouldn't even like ask for the receipt. However, store operators, they care a lot about like the bigger basket sizes. So I know from myself, if I was shopping, if it was just like a quick shop, I wouldn't bother with the receipt. But if it's a big basket, normally people do take the receipts.
But take the receipts and look at the receipts are two things. You are dependent on people looking at the receipts. That's what I'm trying to point out.
Yeah. So I guess like that's what we're going to find out in the pilot. So what we're betting on is just like the visual nature of the QR will definitely catch attention compared to like some small URL that might be on there at the moment.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah. So in terms of traction, so at the moment we're doing customer validation. We've actually, so we're talking with like the number 2 or number 3 supermarket chain in Ireland. Their top 3 operators are interested in piloting our solution, but we still need to go through the headquarters to get the go-ahead for that. So talking with these operators, it's been interesting because so the pain points we plan to solve, they've kind of confirmed those pain points. However, there's some new things we hadn't thought of. So, for example, the top 2 operators, where they struggle is low response rates. So like 15 to 30 responses per month, which isn't big enough for proper sampling. So basically, they cannot rely on the metrics coming out of that. However, the third largest, I think, is even more interesting because they actually have a good response rate. However, what they've told us is they're not confident in those metrics because they don't match what they see on the ground. So basically, they don't have really like high confidence in their current solution. And a big thing for them was they've no control over any aspect of the survey. So they might do things locally, do some changes locally that they want feedback on, and they have no ability to get that into the survey because it's controlled by HQ. Yeah. So next slide. So actually, I have an updated version of this, but for this one, for the focus TAM, so I've tried to narrow that down as much as possible.
Have
so
you,
this
you're,
is
the base, you're in 1Mby1M basic. Have you done the market sizing segment curriculum?
Yeah, I have. So I guess like there's a few different ways we could do this. So like from my focus TAM at the moment, I've narrowed that down. So not all retailers or convenience stores would use a POS system, right? Some might just process payments without like itemized receipts. So this is narrowing that down to only those retailers and also just focusing
where is your pricing? As you recall from the
So I should have put that slide before. So this is based on pricing, but just the slides are in the wrong order.
Okay.
I think
let's do the pricing first. Yeah. You need business model pricing model before you can do bottom-up TAM. So let's do business model pricing model.
Yeah, so I guess like the big advantage for us is the distribution. So that goes like 2 ways. So once we're integrated with one POS system, then their whole network opens up to us. And then also once we onboard a supermarket chain, that's like 200 stores at least, depending on the different chains. So that's kind of like basically leverage distribution. Then in terms of revenue models, it depends on, so we're going to have different tiers. The basic tier wouldn't have any like AI. The higher tiers would be like more like a conversation type survey. So that would be towards the €150 mark. Then in terms of partnerships, we would profit share with those POS providers. So we're also in discussions with one of the main POS providers in Ireland that supply that retailer that might be interested in the pilot.
And
so
what
if you want to go back,
what percentage of your revenue do they want?
So we haven't gotten into that yet. At the moment, we're like talking the technicals in terms of the pilot. We're meeting them probably in the next 2 weeks, because basically if the supermarket wants to go ahead with the pilot, then they're on board with us. We just need to, but I presume, so like I'm going to ask them like how they work with other people. We've kind of factored it in up to 50%.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Yeah, exactly. So if we go through this, just the focus TAM, so as I mentioned, it's only retailers with itemized receipts. It's also restricted to North America and Europe. And then what I've called the SAM, the year 5 SAM, that is based on how many POS providers we think we can integrate by that time. And then our SAM would be signed clients. So that's kind of how we work that. I know there are a few different ways we could probably do that.
And then you have to take, essentially, you have to take 50% off that for customer acquisition.
Yeah, hopefully, well, let's see when we talk with them. But on the other hand, I think probably I'm not going to say 50% to them, because I think they'll actually accept less, because what they said to me is basically if the demand needs to come from the retailer, if it does, then they'll integrate, and they need like a minimum of 80 stores. So I'm thinking more like 20 to 30%, but I'll see when we meet them. Yeah. And so yeah, I do have a co-founder, technical co-founder, Kenny Casey. He would be on the development side. We also have a number of like informal advisors, but the main one would be Donna McGillicuddy. He's worked with Worldline before, which would be it wouldn't be a POS provider, it would be the #1 payment provider in Europe, but he's also very familiar and has a lot of connections in the POS industry. Yeah, that's all. In terms of, so our path at the moment, we're actually taking part. So Ireland has kind of like a national, it's not like an accelerator, it's like a founder program. So I'm starting that in 2 weeks. It's like a 6-month program, and you're paid a stipend. The problem for us is it only covers one co-founder. So basically, if this pilot is going ahead in the next few months, I basically need my technical co-founder full-time. So that's kind of where we're looking for the funding. I said 500K here, but basically it's between 150 to 500K we're looking for.
So the company that is covering the co-founder's stipend with a stipend, that is charging you equity or not?
No. So it's kind of like a public-private partnership. The Irish government with Enterprise Ireland. So they pay like 2,500 a month as stipend. They don't take any equity. How it's designed is like at the end of that, normally we would apply then for pre-seed funding from Enterprise Ireland, and that would be via a convertible note. The problem for us is
Enterprise Ireland is what you're going after with this fundraising.
So that's one path, but the issue we have is while I'm in that 6-month program, we cannot apply for that 100K pre-seed from them. You have to wait until after the 6 months, which is going to slow us down. If like SuperValue say we want to pilot this before Christmas, then I'll need my co-founder basically full-time, and we're not allowed to apply for that pre-seed yet.
I see.
Yeah, so like basically you only can. Sorry, yeah.
You are already in conversation with 3 retailers.
So, one retail chain. So the 3 I spoke about, that would be their top 3 operators. So like one of them, like the top one has 30 stores, the second one has 10 or 15, and the third largest has around 10. So they're all on board for the pilot. We just need to go ahead from the HQ. But with the pressure from those three, we're very hopeful that basically it would be a side-by-side pilot against their current system.
And so that's one of the things that's missing from this presentation is competition. What is the competition that you have to deal with here?
Yes, so at the moment, so that specific retailer, that's actually a fairly local solution they're going with at the moment called CX Index. But the big players here would be InMoment, Medallia, and Qualtrics.
Yeah, I was
However,
thinking about Medallia and Qualtrics. I didn't know about InMoment, but Medallia and Qualtrics are clearly straight in.
yeah. So, but the thing is, for them, it's actually, so obviously, like they do all types of experience management. So this would actually be a really like small slice of their business. And basically it's something they kind of generalize in. So if you look at any of their surveys, they're really basic. So basically we think we can disrupt there. So our plan would be, once we get this pilot and this retailer on board, then in Ireland or the UK, we would go after retailers using Medallia, which would be Tesco, and one using Qualtrics for kind of test cases. Once we've proven like our performance against those two, then we would look to the US to expand. So Medallia is actually interesting because so Tesco is like the largest retailer in Ireland and the UK. They use Medallia for their surveys. However, last year they've actually given up on that system in the UK. But in Ireland, it still continues. So we know they're having issues there. So I think Tesco is going to be our next step after our first pilots.
So the problem you're going to find is that the VCs, the traditional VCs or the angels who work in the VC ecosystem are going to find this to be a TAM that is too small.
Okay.
Especially because there are all these big players, Qualtrics, Medallia, and InMoment are already in there vying for the same TAM. It's going to be difficult to sell to investors that this is going to be a high velocity company with sufficient TAM to grow to a big company. It's basically, you're going to have to, I think, you're going to have to win some customers against Medallia or Qualtrics and then sell the company to Medallia or Qualtrics.
Yeah, I think so. But it before that happens, obviously, we want to grow it as much as possible before we get any interest from those guys, right? So I think Tesco is really.
So you have to show. You have to replace Medallia, replace Qualtrics in actual customer accounts. So you have to figure out a way to do that without expecting a lot of venture funding, because I think this is going to be tricky to fund with the traditional.
Yeah, I think so. So the one thing I didn't mention is we do like the idea of seed scaling. So we wouldn't go like beyond seed basically with VCs. So I guess it's like trying to find the correct investors that would be on board for like seed scaling.
Seed strapping.
So seed strapping, seed strapping. So basically, I think for like taking customers from Medallia, that's very doable in the case of Tesco because they've already shown they're willing to cut Medallia. They haven't replaced it with anything yet in the UK. So I think that's a big opportunity.
It's a big opportunity, but also for a little company to get into a large account, you have to prove that you are a sustainable business that is something that they can bet on, and you're not going to go out of business tomorrow. So the question that is swirling in my mind is that if they really see value in what you are doing and you are proposing to do, could these retailers write you some significant checks if they're going to roll this out in I don't know how many stores, let's say 30,
Yeah.
40 stores, would they write you $100,000 checks? These three retailers that you're working with, could you raise $300,000 in customer in revenue advance?
I think that's definitely possible, especially with those operators. So, like those top three operators, they're really enthusiastic. The HQ, I kind of need their help there because, you know, like existing relationships. So even their current system isn't working.
Yeah, so I would say that
Mhm.
you're saying that you need your co-founder full time and you're using this Irish government grant to bring him on full time. Nothing is stopping you during this period to go sell to the three retailers and try to get some advance, customer advance, revenue advance. And that may just take care of all your problems, at least in the short term.
Basically, there's nothing stopping us from like signing the pilot.
Right.
But then it's in terms of like time commitment of my co-founder, that stipend only covers one co-founder, so that's like unfortunate. But
well, but if
as you said,
if you can get
yeah,
advance on revenue, it can cover your costs as well.
yeah, that's a good idea.
So that's what I would
Yeah.
go after, because I think going the financing route is going to be hard because it's you have a real chicken and egg here. And you know, you could look at Irish investors.
Yeah.
But
Irish investors, like those three operators, I think once they understand the value, that's definitely possible. In general,
and you're
angel
gonna have to,
investors in
in that
Ireland
case,
would be, sorry,
in that case, we're gonna have to sell to Irish investors a seed strapping to exit path, basically.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. I
Okay,
mean,
well, we can talk more. I need to do one more. I think I need to do Utkarsh.
yeah,
Just
no
hold
problem.
on. Let me. Yeah.
No problem. Thank you.
Sure. Utkarsh, have you solved your problem?
Yeah, I think it's all right now.
Okay,
Can
we
you hear
can
me?
hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Now, did you want
Yeah,
me to bring
that's
up
good.
your other slide? The slide that you uploaded later?
No, it's fine actually.
It's fine?
Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, let's go then.
Yeah, slide number 1, please.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Utkarsh Pandey and I'm really thrilled to have an amazing session with you guys. So before we dive in, would like to, uh, tell like I would be, elaborative and engaging with you guys because what I'm going to talk about is a type of crisis that our world is currently facing and no one is aware of. So let me ask you a simple question. Can I ask?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, sure. So when was the last time you felt completely in control of your phone? Was it yesterday or last week or maybe never?
So keep going. I
Yeah,
just keep
sure,
going
sure,
with
sure,
your bridge.
sure. If we take general public phone and check their social media uses and screen time, they actually spend on an average 6+ hours per day. And if we multiply that particular hour with 365 days, it's actually a complete month that they are exactly wasting on their social media, screen times, and all those things.
Yeah.
So today I want you to talk, take you on the journey where we solve this problem for millions turning digital, with the digital empowerment. So we can't even imagine how digital addictions are, harming us indirectly or directly. And it's a, type of human crisis. And if we talk about the data of, World Happiness Index, so India ranks on 118th on the report of World Happiness Index, a far surprising position. You know what? countries like
We have lost
ranks. Am I audible, please?
Now you're audible. Yeah, we lost you for a few
Yeah.
seconds there.
Yeah. Yeah. So where I was at?
You were saying that India has a very poor level of addiction to smartphones. So it's not just India; whole world has poor level of addiction to smartphones.
Correct.
So let's keep going from it. So we accept that point. That point is absolutely correct. So now what? What is the solution?
Correct. So the solution is we have created a resilience cycle within our app, which is complete AI powered. Now, here's how it works. We don't wait until you are overwhelmed. We constantly monitor your real time, you know, like content that you are watching, as well as, how you are interacting with your device using the high advanced AI. And we also, yeah, uh, yeah. So we also make the dopamine score, like what category of content you are watching. Is it educational? Is it distractive? Is it some kind of disturbing content, or what you are watching? So based on that, you get some points, are dopamine points based on it, and those dopamine points are stored in the dashboard. And when you hit the threshold of 100 points, the app the app lets you freeze your screen, and you have to do certain amount of recovery activities. So recovery activities includes a meditation, a walking, as well as the activities which are related to your personality or the timings that you are currently in, right? So
So
imagine.
does that mean that you're going to turn the phone off at that point? How do you monitor that? How do you control that?
Sure. So, like as our AI was monitoring what exactly you are watching and all those things, so it just stores the point in a threshold, right? If you hit the 100 points, your screen is gonna freeze, and you will be having an option to, you know, like uh, how would you like to recover your mind from these
No,
dopamine
I
hits that you
understand.
have got?
I understand, but
Yeah.
how is your phone going to track whether the person
Hmm.
is doing those things or not? Meditation is not a phone activity. You're not gonna be, or walking is, okay, maybe you can use an app to the 10,000 step apps and stuff like that. You can do, but if you freeze the screen, that loses the ability to track those things as well.
Yeah, thank you for your question. So, firstly, I would come to the question like how we will be verifying exactly if they have done the activity, certain kind of activity,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's the
Yeah,
question I'm asking you. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so first of all, if they have done the activity, they need to upload some images, or we will be using augmented reality in order to, keep the track of, and those images or those media would be immediately deleted after they are verified by our AI system, right?
Okay.
So yeah, I hope I have answered your question. And the screen freezes. So AI and the app would still be working even if the screen is freezes. It just person will be seeing a screen that you have done enough of your mindless activities and all those things. Now time to have the recovery activities, so on. So we have the two options. First, either they can choose the recovery activities, or option two, either they can choose like punishment, right? So if they click on the punishment mode, their phone, like they will be only accessing those apps which are emergency for use. Let's suppose phone, payment app, or some kind of messaging apps where they can contact with their loved ones, right? So if I talk about the product overview, so we have the AI-driven dopamine and behavior insights, where we keep all the tracks of exactly what's happening on their user's device, and with that we thrive to improve their mindful activities, as well as give them a better clearance in mind with the activities that we provide, right? So if we talk about market opportunity, slide number 6 please. Yeah, if we talk,
Which 6? This one.
yep, it's, yeah, this one, yeah. So if we talk about the data, the scale is far surprising. The global market health will exceed $543 billion by 2030, right? And yeah,
Utkarsh, these numbers mean nothing, absolutely nothing. You need to understand how to do bottom-up TAM analysis, and that's all that matters. This kind of market size numbers mean absolutely nothing. So let's not waste our time.
sure. Next slide. Yeah.
So tell me about competitors. Is there somebody doing this already?
Actually, these kinds of, actually we are complete unique, and no one is actually doing it, right? So some brings phone screen time, some brings some meditation apps.
Yeah, Calm, we know meditation apps and stuff. So you're saying that nobody is doing this. Do you have anything going right now, or this is a concept stage business?
Actually, this is a concept stage business, and we have the prototype in order to demonstrate.
And how far are you from, are you doing this full time, or do you have a job? What is the situation?
Yeah, so I'm actually a BTech third year student, and I'm actually in commerce science. Yeah, so I was actually brainstorming how like most of the students get addicted with their phone, and they cannot focus on their studies, and the major reason is their social media.
Problem. There's no question, there's a huge problem. Addiction to social media and the phone is a huge problem. I mean, your problem identification is absolutely on the money. The solution, however, is complicated. This is a very complicated thing to do. So I'm not sure if your solution, mapping or the vision for the solution is going to work. So since you're a student, you probably can kind of work nights and weekends and get something out there to on the App Store, and get some students maybe at your school to start using it and getting some feedback into how to address this problem.
Correct.
Because I think the success or failure of your company is going to be, is it something that people are going to use or not? That's it.
Correct.
Everything else is going to be coming beyond that. I think the product definition is an enormously important piece of this. Your problem identification is correct. Nobody will argue with you with the fact that there is a huge addiction problem in social media and device, etc. What is the solution to that problem is something that the whole world is struggling with. So I encourage you to try for sure. And you're a student, you're young, you can experiment. It's a big problem. You can experiment with it, but it's not clear to me that the solution design is completely on the mark. But this is going to take a lot of trial and error, thinking through all the issues and so on, the kinds of questions that I'm asking you. And it's going to vary from phone to phone, right? These like Apple has a certain kind of infrastructure available that you can ride on top of, like all these Apple Health apps can potentially give you ammunition with which to do stuff. So it's going to be, and in India, the vast majority of people are not on Apple. Apple is now starting to gain ground. It's a very expensive device, and it's only available for, it's only accessible for the high end of the market. But the vast majority are using Android phones or Microsoft phones and so on, right? So it's a different market. So the product definition is what I'm most concerned about. And the other caution I'm going to give you is freemium. You have no choice but to do freemium, because this kind of app has no other way to gain traction. But freemium is very, very difficult to bootstrap. So one thing you can keep in mind, this is a problem that is going to be a long-term problem. So one thing you can, what year of college are you, Utkarsh?
Yes, ma'am.
What year are you? Third year, fourth year?
It's third year. Third year.
And it's a 4-year program or 3-year program?
It's a 4-year program, ma'am.
4-year program. So you have 1 more year after this. My guess is you're going to have to get a job after college and do this product with what we call bootstrapping with a paycheck, so that you have money coming in to pay the bills and also giving you some resources with which to do the experimentation. But there's so many decisions you're going to have to make here in terms of product design, go to market, how do you get this out there, etc., etc. So this is a very complex business, and it's going to be a very difficult to bootstrap business. And I think the B2C products, if you have to do the freemium route, it's best done with bootstrapping with a paycheck. So keep that in mind as your, game plan.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Because it's going to be impossible to fund this anytime soon.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. I'll surely work on these terms. And with the pricing, if I explain it to you, it's particularly $0.5 per month. And also, whenever person comes and uses our apps, they will be redirected to 1 week complete free premium program. We will not be taking their access to credit cards before having access to that, because
those are details. Your main issue is getting the product right. This is a very difficult product to get right.
Correct, ma'am. I just have more research on it.
You're going to need runway with which to do the experimentation, so that you can arrive at a product that has viability. Funding is impossible. What you have right now, funding is impossible, out of the question. So don't even think that this is possible to fund.
Sure, ma'am. I'll keep this, man. Thank you very much, ma'am. It's been an honor to interact with you, and yeah.
My pleasure, really. And you're all very welcome to use any of the resources. I will go over all the resources right now. So
sure, ma'am.
Use whatever works for you, and however you want to use 1M1M. Everything you can start 1Mby1M.com. Everything, we are a virtual accelerator, so wherever you are, you can use it. Utkarsh, where are you located?
I'm in India, Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow.
Lucknow, right. Okay, great.
Yep.
So as I talked about in the beginning, the digital mind is a very good service from 1M that you can use on your own schedule from wherever, 24 hours a day, and you basically have me in your pocket. So definitely consider using that. 1M Premium is the other end of the spectrum. This is where you get the full acceleration program, including investor introduction. So Sean, if you want to use our investor introduction program, you're going to have to be in Premium, as you know already. I know you're planning to join Premium. So, but I think you're absolutely right in that. I think we're going to have to go seed strapping to exit route with your product. And I actually know the founders of Medallia reasonably well, especially Amy, I know quite well. But I'm not sure if they would venture into something like this, but they would understand the market and they would understand what you're doing really well. We can try.
Yeah, so just two quick questions if you have time.
Sure, please go ahead.
Yeah, so just going back to the TAM, so you said in
Okay,
terms
hold
of
on.
like
That kind of
VCs.
question, let's revisit. Let me finish the overview and then we will go back to
Oh,
your
okay.
specific question.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking about the program.
No.
Folks, you can use the premium program where you get this kind of interactive guidance on a weekly basis. Investor introductions are part of this program, the premium program. The curriculum is available in both premium and basic. Basic is curriculum only. So if you're doing like Sean is in basic first and he's planning to switch to premium shortly, but he's already started with basic and you can do that too. And we also have some influencer marketing, depending on your market, if that could be effective, that's part of the premium as well. Basic, as I said, is curriculum only. It does not include strategy consulting, but you have the entire curriculum and all case studies available, and you can make a lot of progress with just basic. And by the way, the combination of basic and the AI mentor also could be a good starting point. The AI mentor alone could be a good starting point. We're seeing that as well right now. This AI mentor is barely, 7-8 days in the market. So it's just come out, but it's instigating really interesting conversations. People are really finding real value in it. If you're looking for one-on-one consulting, we do offer that. It's much more expensive. It's $1,000 an hour because, my time is expensive. This is where you can get the AI mentor at $30 per month subscription, starting all the way to $30, $50, $100 a month, and you can get a lot of time with me and my digital mind before you go to something more expensive like that. We have one more free roundtable in September and then 3 in October. So definitely, sign up if you're looking for time with me. If you have questions about the program, all these different aspects of the program, you're welcome to contact Irina at 1Mby1M.com and our team. But, everything is on the website. Also, you can definitely pick up what you need from the website, but Irina is available if you want to talk to somebody. So we can take more questions. Sean, you had a couple of questions. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so if you want to go back to the TAM slide, if you're still on that.
Ooh, that's way back where. Okay, let's see.
I should be the last. Yeah, that's it. So the reason you say that like VCs will find that TAM too low is mainly because the profit share with the POS companies, right?
And the competition.
And the competition. Okay, yeah.
You have big players, so this is like 1.2 billion TAM, in which you already have Qualtrics and Medallia, and I don't know the other company and its size, but Medallia and Qualtrics are big companies. So you have a small sliver of that market immediately
so I
available.
should have said this, that the C-store market is actually kind of untapped by either of them. So they're probably like priced out because
here's what we will do, Sean. When you're in the premium program, we can work on your TAM. If we can fine tune this TAM to get more juice out of it, we will.
Yeah, and just quickly the second question. So basically, if let's say in Ireland and the UK, if we can have like one case each, Medallia and Qualtrics, where we take that business, then that would be in good shape then, right?
That would be great. That would be great, and that would also give you the money. It will pretty much give you your seed capital with which to go straight to an exit to one of those two. And I think we should execute to that game plan straight.
Yeah. That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, who else? I see other people in the room also. People who have not really pitched. Utkarsh, you have a question. Please go ahead. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. So my question is, if I make it to a successful entrepreneur, so what measures I can take or what mistakes I can avoid in order to tackle that, ma'am? Please guide.
Utkarsh, my suggestion would be you go ahead and do the entire 1M by 1M basic core curriculum. It's like you do it in parallel with your school. Right now, you're doing an engineering program, right? So it's going to be like you do your engineering program, and nights and weekends, you do 1M by 1M basic. You're getting effectively an MBA in entrepreneurship, very specific, very targeted on technology entrepreneurship. So you will be much better off, much better prepared to take on entrepreneurship with that combination. Who else? Anybody else? Question? I love young people who start early, and if you can start learning methodology early, it would position you much better in making decisions. And the other thing that happens when you have methodology under your belt is you can validate better and decide on what is the product idea, what is the business idea on which you want to bet several years of your life, right? Building a company takes 5-7 years, sometimes 10 years. So you're essentially signing off a decade of your life, and you should do that with a very thorough validation. And we emphasize that. Do not commit 10 years of your life without validating, and if we often, one of the values that 1M by 1M offers is to invalidate an idea and save you from wasting, 3, 5, 7, 10 years of your life. And that's very valuable. Okay, questions, anybody? You can also type in your questions in the public chat. I will pick up questions. And if you want to talk to me, if you're in the room, you haven't talked to me yet, if you want to talk, just let us know. Maureen will put you in the panel and you can talk through your computer with me right now. Anybody? Yes, Jayanta, tell us, where are you joining from? What are you working on? How can we help? Go ahead. You are on the panel. You can go ahead and talk about your business. Unmute your line, Jayanta.
Right now, yeah, okay.
Where are you dialing from?
Yeah, I am dialing from Chennai, India.
Uh-huh.
And today I am in Chennai, in India. So, but my organization name is Atharv Cloud. I have shared the slides. Is that slides handy?
You're going to pitch next week. Today we don't have enough time to.
Okay.
But not next week, on the 25th, I think you're
25th,
pitching.
25th. Okay. Yeah. Okay, then I will pitch next week. Okay.
If you want to, give me a quick elevator pitch, I'm happy to give you some of my thoughts right away.
Okay, very good, very good. So, see, about me, in a quick note, I have around 28 years of experience. I am mostly from the engineering field, and I worked in General Motors in US and Ford Motor Company in US, and all my majority of my experience is in the engineering field. So while I was working, I typically noticed one problem, like this is basically something related to DevOps.
Mm-hmm.
So which is one vital part of the software delivery life cycle.
Yeah.
And when I returned back to India, I noticed a very strange similar problem. Like in India, we are spending billions of dollars of rupees in digitalization program, and many of the government offices are getting digitalized.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have a streamlined DevOps platform, which is actually a domestic in nature. For example, if you right now, whatever the DevOps systems are used in the market, these are mostly open source components, or many of the discrete tools getting mixed into one box, and one DevOps platform is getting created. But if you see in the government sectors, they don't accept it. In any of these larger government sectors, or typically in the defense sectors and all, they said these tools, whatever is getting used in the DevOps, these are not proven tools. Proven tools means what are the security loopholes, or what is the control over the tools. means that is not at all accepted in over here in many of the government sectors. And also there are many SMEs who definitely need a DevOps, but they are struggling to deploy that entire DevOps platform for their own organization. So what I see, everybody is creating a DevOps platform for their own requirement.
So Jayanta, I'm going to tell you something that we have very limited time left, but I'm looking forward to listening to your pitch in detail. But since you have a couple of weeks leading up to that pitch, let me give you a few pointers which you can work on. And then, you know, when you come back, we will have a more fruitful conversation. You have to pay attention to competition because, you know, you have ServiceNow in the DevOps space. This is a very big player and a very successful player. And then there are other companies in the DevOps space as well that have significant presence. So if you want to do something in DevOps, you have to have a very thorough understanding of what is the competitive landscape and what is the gap where you want to present, you know, position your solution.
Yes.
Yeah, so do that, do that homework, and I look forward to chatting with you in more detail with that competitive positioning in view on, you know, in the next opportunity. And if you decide that you want to join the program and get started with the curriculum and so forth, please feel free.
Sure.
Okay, anybody else?
Okay.
Anybody else? I'm about to close the session. We just have a very few minutes left. If anybody has another question, I'm happy to take it. Otherwise, we're going to adjourn. Okay. All right. I will talk to you in a couple of weeks and work on more of your businesses. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.